Hey, I'm Pep, and this is a 5-minute review of Keyflower by R&D Games. Now, they aren't paying me to do this review. In fact, they didn't even send me this copy of the game. This is something I've had for years. And it's a game I've definitely enjoyed. I don't get it to the table as much as I'd like because the teach is a little hefty and people I play with don't usually like a little bit of a longer game. And this can be a bit of a longer game, often taking 2.5 hours. But that's really just if you haven't played before. The game should be relatively short as it takes place over 4 rounds. And these rounds denote the seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. And each season you'll have some new tiles that come out that you'll be able to bid on to expand your little town. But how do you bid on things? Well, on top of bidding on things, you can also take actions. And you do both of these things with workers. There's yellow, blue, red, and sometimes green. And at the start of the game, each player will get a random assortment of these that they keep hidden. So if you want to bid, perhaps you would bid yellow onto one of these tiles. Well, now if someone wants to outbid you, they of course have to play more. And on top of that, it has to be yellow. But that's not all. Because if you are outbid, you can then take yours and move that bid somewhere else, or maybe even take them and use them as an action. And actions work the same way. Once a tile's been denoted as a color, you have to use that color in order to take that action. And of course, you place a worker in order to take an action. But you can take actions multiple times. You just have to be able to spend more and more workers. So if there's already a worker there, you have to spend 2 more. If there's already 3 workers there, because 1 and 2, you now have to spend 3 workers, and then 4 workers, 5 workers, etc. But wait, there's more! Because of course you can take the actions of the tiles in the center that you're currently bidding on, but you also take actions on the tiles that are already in your little town. And you can take the actions on your opponent's tiles as well by placing the workers there. But at the end of the round, any workers that are in your town go back behind your little screen, which means you can use them again in the next round. So by using your workers on opponent's tiles, you're giving them extra workers for the next round. Even when you're using them on the bidding tiles, technically whoever takes that bid puts that into their town and collects the workers that were placed on top of it as well. Not the ones you bid with, though. On top of that, the game has an interesting system where as you produce resources, they're placed onto the tile that produced them, or in your home if they were from an opponent's town. Then you use the move and upgrade action in order to move the resources to a spot that you need for the upgrade, and then upgrade it. So there's a lot of little thinking bits going on, and a bit of strategy behind how much you're willing to dedicate taking actions in one space. You can even really bully your opponents by figuring out a color you think they don't really have and specifically placing workers of that color onto their tiles so they won't be able to activate them again that round. At the end of each round, you also have little ships that'll come in with meeples on them as well as little skill tiles. And whoever bid highest will get first choice of those. So again, you can kind of bully people a little bit and maybe force them to not be able to get the workers they might need in a future round. On top of all of that, the tiles that come out during the winter round for you to auction on are chosen by the players. You're given those tiles at the start of the game and you keep them in secret until winter comes. Then you decide which of the tiles you've been given that you want to put into the auction pool. Now you have to place at least one, but you could put all of them. So the final round in winter has a lot of variability based on what people choose. But of course there's risks because even though you put the tile down into the auction pile, you still have to bid on it and you still have to win that bid if you want to collect it. I can't say it enough. I really enjoyed this game. I think if you enjoy worker placement games, town building games, that kind of thing, this is a must-have, or at least a must-try. If you know someone who has this and you haven't played it before, give it a shot because though the initial teach is a little sluggish in my opinion, it is a really good game. Anyway, that's been my review of Keyflower. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below, or perhaps even if you want to gush about how much you also enjoy this game. And as always, thanks for watching, and I hope you see me later.